Hi, in this lesson you will be reading and exploring narrative nonfiction in depth. In this video, we will explore 4 genres of narrative nonfiction: biography, autobiography, memoir, and letters, diaries, and journals. First, let's look at biography. If you remember your Greek and Latin word parts, you know that bio means life and graph means write. That means that biography is a type of writing that explores the story of someone's life. In today's world, biography has become one of the most popular types of reading. People are curious about other people, famous and infamous historical figures, sports legends, politicians and their families, performing arts stars, and notorious criminals. For some famous people, there is only one authorized biography. For others, one can find numerous biographies, some more credible than others. Some biographies are full-length books, while others are more like essays or short stories. Still others are very brief and resemble short sketches. Biographies vary in length, and biographers, the person who writes the biography, have to decide what events are important enough to include in their narratives. Any biography would need the basic information of date and place of birth, parents and siblings, education, main achievements, important statements, if applicable, date and cause of death. However, that doesn't make a successful book. Successful biographers often have to look for new angles. They try to unearth information that has not been included in previous biographies. This information can either be positive or negative in nature. In order to do this, biographers include research in their writing. They use sources such as newspaper articles, journals and diaries, letters to friends and relatives, and interviews of fellow students, coworkers, and family members. However, sometimes an author already knows a great deal about the subject matter. The writer would have to verify the accuracy of his or her memory if they knew the person they were writing about, but would not have to do a great deal of outside research. Either way, as a reader of a biography, you need to think about the author's credibility, attitude, and purpose in the writing. Biographies, no matter the author or the length, aim to convey a sense of a person's background, personality, and achievements, as well as an awareness of important formative events in the person's life. Now let's look at the second genre that we are going to look at in narrative nonfiction: autobiography. Once again, using your Greek and Latin word part knowledge, let's figure out what autobiography means. We know that biography is the story of someone's life, and that auto means self. That means that an autobiography is the story of someone's life written by themselves. Like biographies, autobiographies aim to convey a sense of a person's background, personality, and achievements, as well as an awareness of important formative events in that person's life. It would seem that autobiographers have the advantage of already knowing a great deal about their topics, since the topic is themselves. On the other hand, an autobiographer's view of himself or herself can differ substantially from the view of others who know that person. However, the autobiographer does have access to information about which others can only guess: feelings, motivations, fears, and memories. In America, the genre of autobiography reaches back to colonial and revolutionary times. Benjamin Franklin, as you see here, wrote an autobiography that was a huge success and demonstrated the possibility of rising from rags to riches through diligence and intelligence. Slave narratives, a form of autobiography, were popular in the 1800s. Today, just about everyone who becomes a celebrity seems to produce an autobiography, and these books can mean big money for both writers and publishing houses. The third genre we will discover is that of memoir. Memoirs are autobiographical in nature. They tell a story of a person's life and are written by that person themselves. But they generally do not try to tell the entire story of a person's life like autobiographies do. Instead, memoirs limit themselves to a single important event or cluster of events which are related. Memoirs have to do with memories, but memories can be quite subjective. Two witnesses of the same event often give quite different descriptions of what happened, and both can be completely sincere and convinced of their accuracy. Ask yourself to what extent memories are factual. Memories involve both facts and personal perspectives. The facts are objective, but the perspective is subjective. For this reason, people who share an experience often describe it in quite different ways. Memoirs are often combinations of informational text and literary aspects such as first-person narrator due to the fact that they are made up of memories. Because memoirs focus on individuals at particular places and times, they are of considerable historical importance. People usually write memoirs because of some outstanding experience. Injustice, growing up with famous people or in famous places, and stressful happenings that relate to others' experiences can all be instructive. Memoirs often relate to the description of America as a nation of immigrants. What is it like to grow up in America as the son or daughter of immigrants, either legal or not, from countries in the Middle East, Asia, Africa, South America, or Central America? The final genre that we will discover in the category of narrative nonfiction is that of letters, journals, and diaries. People do a lot of writing that has little or nothing to do with publication. Publication means making something available for the public to read. Just about everybody sends letters and emails. Police officers write lists of suspects, and doctors record symptoms. People in business write journal accounts of meetings and plans. These writings are also forms of nonfiction. Letters, journals, and diaries are related to biographies, autobiographies, and memoirs. The main difference is that the person writing a letter or a diary entry often does not think in terms of publication. As a result of the fact that letters, diaries, and journals aren't meant for publication, grammatical correctness may not be a top priority, and both abbreviations and code words may be used. They are not usually written with a formal structure. For biographers and historical researchers, letters and other informal writings are extremely important primary sources to learn about history. So remember that narrative nonfiction has four main genres: biography, autobiography, memoir, and letters, diaries, and journals.